with the question. How? Yeah.
Let's hit it.
Yeah.
Miki, sa partakarva. Niin.
Yeah. Let's hit it.
Yeah, let's do that.
You shall read. Shall read. It's time for TestguruTV again. The dude sitting next to me, yes, you already know him, Jani, Tuna, Haikala, a ultimate champion of testing.
Hello. And here, next to me is Antti Niittyviita, a tireless testing advocate, a trainer, a public speaker, and an author.
Yeah, and I said ultimate when I should have said an ultimate.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Nobody would have noticed.
Nobody would have noticed. Guiding your attention into what was the mistake there. So yeah, no one would have noticed. But anyways, welcome to the show. This is a weekly show about mental health in software. And everybody's just simply happier when software works.
Exactly. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
All right.
So let's go to the question. Shall we with the question? How? Let's the question. Let's hit the question.
Let's hit it.
Let's hit it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Hey guys, we're shooting this episode and it's Friday, so bear with us. It's Friday afternoon and it's weekend ahead. So let's hit it.
I shall read the question.
You shall read. shall read. Okay, please do.
Yeah. How to avoid blindness when designing tests?
How to avoid blindness when designing. Is it designing tests or doing tests?
Designing.
That's interesting. Well, yeah.
Could be doing, but
yeah,
the question has word designing in it.
First of all, I believe that most of testing is a process of designing and executing. Like it's like this never-ending like pendulum that you engage in as a tester. Mm-hmm. You just you use the software, then you observe something about it, and you make decisions about what to test next. Mm-hmm. And that's a designing to me. Mm-hmm. And then you test. Yeah. So it goes hand in hand a lot.
I mean, I guess it could be the blindness while designing tests, but also blindness while
testing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's actually a really difficult one to avoid blindness, because like everybody's already like blind to 98% of the stuff, the information that comes. Like the brain is a filtering machine, because if you would like sense and observe all the sounds and noises, all that comes through your visual senses, all that comes through your like feelings on clothing and stuff like that, you would go mad in an instant. And that's why brain already like by default is filtering, like I don't know the stats really, but something like 99.9% of all the data that's coming in. So basically you're already mostly blind. So in that sense it's impossible to avoid to me.
Yeah, I guess it's something that you know, avoiding the blindness gets more difficult over time. It's easy to come up with new ideas. Yeah. Once you start on a new project, on a new product, or new app.
Yeah.
At first it's easy, but it gets more difficult the longer you do the same thing over and over again, or work with the same project with the same product.
Yeah, that's true. It's like when you start to get used to the environment and used to the software that you're like, just like subconsciously you try. It's like the brain. That's how the brain works. It tries to save energy. And that's just human behavior.
Yeah, I guess we talked about this in the previous
episode. Exactly.
Yeah.
So brain tries to save energy. So it always like has the tendency to grow blindness on you in terms of what you test and how you test and design the test as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, like humans are 90-something percent already blind, filtering all the information and ideas. And if you could hear all the 80,000 thoughts going through your mind a day, that would be like mad. So just like it ignores everything, and at the same time, the brain tries to conserve energy, so it endorses the blindness even further. So I think the biggest question is how to consciously guide the attention where it matters now.
That's what I'm sort of was thinking also, because and you often hear testers say that there's nothing more to test. I've tested everything, and at the same time we all know that it's virtually not possible at any stage, unless the software is like a really tiny little tool that has just a function or two. Very quickly the number of combinations is so vast that you cannot test everything, not even with automation or anything like that. So the sentence "I've tested everything" is insane.
Yeah, that's true.
So how do you have any tools in your mind how to sort of fight that blindness?
I would say that first of all, it's like this blindness is like I have those two kids, and sometimes they're like, "Dad, where is the salt?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's in the shelf with all other spices. That's where the salt is always at our home." And they're like, "Yeah, I cannot see the salt here." I'm like, "Yeah, it's there on the shelf." And like, no, there is no salt on the shelf. I need to eat my eggs and I want salt. And I'm like, then I walk down to our kitchen and like then I pick up the salt from the shelf, and this is the salt. Like, oh, that's the salt. Sorry. And that's like you can talk yourself into blindness. That's the point. Yeah. And first of all, you have to learn out of talking yourself into blindness. So, for example, if you ever catch yourself as a tester from saying that, "I don't know what to test next," that's a sign for you to immediately do something that would shake your mind in a way that you can like, yes, you do know. You just don't yet, you haven't just guided your attention to the next question that could bring you ideas. So,
and that's a skill that you actually have to learn.
Yeah, that's true.
So you have to deliberately do that over and over again in order to learn to do that.
Yeah. And like this guiding the attention where it matters next is that's the skill that I would say, like, avoid the blindness, avoid all of this talking into like not doing something or being able to do something. So guiding your focus and attention to where it matters and where it's possible. And the big question is, how do you guide your focus? How would you guide your focus? Great silence there. Yeah. The primary tool for human beings to guide their focus is to ask questions. Yeah. So questions are the tool to guide the focus, and you need to learn to ask better and more questions. Initially, they can be poor quality questions too. When do we eat? Whatever it is. What time is it? Yeah, for example, what time is it brings me to the ideas of time-related tests and anything. So, how do your underpants feel at the moment? It guides your attention to your it feels a little bit uncomfortable at the moment. The questions guide the attention. So how do you use the questions to bring better attention and valuable things to your field of view?
Just to make it perfectly clear, testing is asking questions. What if? And like what if this happens, or what if someone does like this, or what if the environment is changing, or it's mostly about asking questions.
Yeah, and that's what test design as well to me is. It's asking the question. So what should or how would it or compared to this? How does it look like and stuff like that. So it's always designing and testing. It's this asking questions and testing the hypothesis. So it's like a kind of a scientific process. You could say you make a hypothesis. Was it? Yeah, that was it. Hypothesis.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah. That's okay. You make the assumption and then you test it. And then you make new assumptions and model a little bit in your mind and then test it. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, to avoid blindness, study the art of asking questions. That would be my first and the primary thing to approach. And for example, this is an interesting way to like approach questions. Most people in conversations, they tend to stay on the surface level. How are you doing? And you say, yeah, I'm doing fine. And you know, what did you like? What did you like at the lunch? Or what did you have at lunch? So you say that, yeah, I had Nepalese. And that's when it stays on the surface level. And we need to learn how to go like from the 2D relationship into 3D. And I could ask you, what did you like about the Nepalese today? And then you would go deeper into actually exploring your feelings about the Nepalese. What's your favorite game? You say Call of Duty, and then I would ask, what do you like about Call of Duty? And the same thing with testing. This feels confusing. Okay?
Yeah.
Something can feel confusing when you test. Then you need to teach yourself to ask, what about it is confusing? And that what leads you to actually find the distinctions and then leads you to new ideas. Then you point out, yeah, the login button seems strange. Well, how does it look strange? Are there any other ways that it could look like and stuff like that? And what, are there things that you could do with the button and stuff like that? So you could go deeper and deeper and deeper. So yeah, going from 2D into 3D
Good stuff.
In asking questions.
Yeah. Nice. I'm guessing people listening to us or watching us are sort of familiar with quite a lot of different concepts of testing, but I know for a fact that there's also a lot of people out there who have the perception that testing is about running test cases, preferably automated test cases.
True.
And then in that case, the blindness is very easy to achieve.
That's true.
So for me, actually, the first step to avoid that blindness, even if I think about my testing history, what type of testing jobs have I had? The first big step would be, if you haven't already, learn to do exploratory testing.
Yeah, and allow time to explore.
Yeah.
And the first exploration adventures, they will be boring and the ideas may run out.
Yeah.
But that's like, how do you learn to do push-ups? By doing push-ups. So you learn to explore and ask the questions by allowing time to explore and ask the questions. And that's how you become better. And then, of course, you can go Googling and looking for.
And definitely, I've seen a lot of cases where exploratory testing has been just doing something without actually writing test cases, just doing something and calling that exploratory testing, which
like
it's just
revolvers
I'll
banging,
do something, in
the saloon, stuff like that.
But maybe also learn a little bit about exploratory testing, instead of just starting doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What was the original question? I have to.
How to avoid blindness?
How to avoid blindness? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So take the road less traveled. I would say that would be a great advice. Take road less traveled. Because you know, don't follow the familiar paths. That's one of the most critical ways to do it. Do you feel like we have answered the question?
I think we've covered it quite extensively.
Yeah.
Should we do the recap thingy right now?
Yeah, that's like this intellectual suicide attempt. Like every time in our episodes, it seems nowadays, we try to make this like ad hoc kind of a recap and try to like squeeze 3 takeaways. But yeah, I would have one, and that is to accept that human beings are calibrated and built for blindness. So you cannot avoid blindness, you already are. And to accept that that's the first step. And then that would take me to the second step. To accept that you're blind, then the question is, how do you guide your focus and attention to where it matters right now?
Yeah.
That would be the second one. And one of the leading ways, of course, is to like train. It's a muscle, guiding the attention, train it. And one of the ways to actually do it is ask better questions.
Yeah, that's very nice. Very nice. My recap, actually, I think it is then maybe around the idea of exploratory testing. So if you haven't been doing it already, start doing and learning exploratory testing. That's a great tool to avoid blindness, or at least move it down the line, a lot further down the line. So learn to do exploratory testing. Also related to that, exploratory testing by definition is using the software, learning something new about the software, and using those learnings as a starting point for designing new tests and running then those. Obviously, it often happens that while you are doing the testing, you get a lot of new ideas. I should do this, I should do that, maybe I could try this. It's also as easy as to come up with the ideas. It's just as easy to forget them. So keep some notes.
Yeah.
Because you will come up with ideas.
Yeah.
But if you don't write them down, you will forget.
That's
at least
awesome.
Many of them.
Yeah, note taking is by far one of my keys. That's
Yeah.
actually funny that we didn't address it in the main episode, but yeah.
Yeah, but luckily we got there.
We got it there.
Yeah. And then there's one tool also related to exploratory testing. I think there's a lot of testing heuristics.
Yeah.
Heuristics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Testing heuristics.
Hey, we are Finnish guys, and we don't know English that well yet, so we're trying to learn.
I think we're doing okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, testing heuristics, just if you don't know them yet, just Google. There's so much. There's cheat sheets, like a short lists of testing ideas. Also quite extensive heuristics, which take a lot of time to cover and learn and master. So there's literally just abundance of ideas that you can benefit from. So you don't have to invent it all yourself. It's already out there. So you just have to sort of get to the place where you have that information.
Yeah, attention works like a muscle. You have to train it, and these heuristics and stuff like that, they are training vessels for the muscle of attention.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a great one. Heuristics and questions and everything exploring, they are training grounds for the muscle of attention. TestguruTV Originals quote. Hey,
maybe we have some ideas of our own also.
At least we like our ideas, but that's how human beings work. So they like their own ideas. Anyways, if you liked any parts of this video, please don't hesitate to hammer the like button, send us the hearts, share the channel or the video with someone who may benefit from it, and subscribe to the channel, of course. So it's been fun spending the time with you today as well.
Yeah, I think that's all. So thank you for joining us, and see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Boom.